anything dating related you want to get off your chest?
It's too vague, but I can answer like the same question if there is something that bothers me.
Sure.
Because I don't know what other answer I can give. Well, I am bothered by the red pillars.
You're bothered by red pillars.
Red pillars, also feminists. They are basically both of them are pretty much.
There he is.
Are you indicating the red or the blue?
I'm pointing towards the red pill.
I don't like the red pillars.
Why is that?
Because
Jesus fucks.
Yeah, that's exactly what you deserve.
Can you grab it?
Yeah. Do you want me to grab that one?
Sure. Can you? Yeah, thanks.
Simply because I think it's a very materialistic way, mechanic. I don't know how to say that in English, but it's a very limited way to see reality. It's true. I mean, there is a partial reality, but it's not only that. So I don't want to be judged only for my physical aspect. I don't want to judge only based on money status or.
Can you guys open the door, please? Need some air in here.
Yeah, so that's like I just find it very limiting. The guys that are red pilled usually are pretty aggressive. They are not kind usually. I would say that. Okay, I had that experience.
Where?
So, well, actually in online, not in person. Well, actually, I met once a red pillars, but we were not even flirting, so it was not even a thing. But the attitude that they have is pretty aggressive, and I don't like it.
Which ones?
The red pillars.
That's
those that are core, like they really believe in everything. The red pill.
What is your sense of the red pill?
Well, what I understood is those things that I told you. So basically, I went beyond the wall. So I'm already not valuable anymore. The wall, 25 years old or whatever.
That's not really the wall. But
what is the wall? Well, I went over the wall.
I don't.
25.
Is it 25? No.
In Japan it is.
Oh, well, in China or Japan it is. But
Asia is even
Korea.
worse.
And I don't really sell myself as someone who's like a guru in the space. I don't consider myself a guru. I just consider myself a guy who's somewhat has some knowledge of the topic.
Victor donated $210.
Thank you, man.
I am a Victor right here. Kappa, much love, Brian.
Let's go. Thank you, man. Really appreciate the big donation, man. I appreciate your support all night. It's been overwhelming, and really appreciate your patronage. So thank you, man. I don't consider myself a guru. I've read some books, done a little research, and I'm just more interested in having these conversations. And and I think I ask sometimes some decent questions, sometimes not. But
I think you're okay. I don't think you're one of those that pisses me off.
Thank God.
Because or else her Italian wrath would unleash.
I think that you leave some space to the fact that reality can actually show up in a different way from the main role. So you give space to that. There are people that are very serious and they don't give opportunities, and they're very aggressive because red pill actually makes you more aggressive. Am I wrong? Because it's a reaction to the extreme toxic feminism that is definitely shitty, and it's the equivalent reaction. So it puts on the table the same amount of toxicity, I think.
Well, I disagree, and let's. And then there's. oh shit! Thank you, man.
Doc Vinably donated $200.
Appreciate it, man.
Mary is a catch. She is very intelligent and alluring. Mary, you are insightful and understand the significance of spiritual intimacy. Love to see you back on the show. Brixon, good show.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate the patronage. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Mary's the GOAT. Okay. And Mary, I want you to come in here in a sec on the feminism stuff, but I don't think red pill is necessarily the counter to feminism, because feminism is red pill is really only within the realms of dating, really. I mean, many people who are red pill look towards, for example, men's advocacy, and there is some relation, but the antidote to feminism. I don't know if there's an antidote to it, but the opposite side of it I was about to say the opposite side of feminism is men's rights and men's advocacy, but that's not true, because I think people who consider themselves men's rights advocates are actually much more based in reality than feminists, which is feminism is this dogma and ideology that's...
Well, even the red pill or even the red pill can become an ideology, a dogma.
But red pill's more so related to like intersexual dynamics and dating. It's not really
Yeah,
like
but
feminism is like wage gap and patriarchy,
Yeah, sure.
which red pill people are happy to debunk. However, red pill is primarily concerned with dating.
But isn't there, and I'm asking you because I'm not sure, the story of the gynocracy, or so that the society
Gynocentric.
The society
that
is
society's
ruled
gynocentric.
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't there a response to feminism in a way?
Well, gynocentric society, that's not suggesting that society is ruled by women. That would be a matriarchy.
Right. In fact,
Gynocentric, what I think the term gynocentric society is, that society, when it comes to the patriarchy, okay, men are privileged in society. However, gynocentric society would suggest that actually we cater to women in actuality. I don't know, is that a fair...
Yeah, it's called gynocentric social order.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like I didn't define it
The
quite
red
well
pill is
enough.
basically understanding the truth of what's going on between men and women for sexual attraction. Like typically guys used to think like, women are sugar and spice and all that's nice and they can never do anything wrong and happy wife, happy life. And a lot of guys have realized like those little like sayings are actually a false reality, and they compare the blue pill with people who believe in that false reality. Mm-hmm. But the reality is what we see in the modern dating place today. Like, women want guys of high status. They're typically looking for a guy that's better than them. Those are the certain things
but women look also for other things. They are not mentioned by the
right.
red pill.
Though that is actually mentioned in the red pill too. Yeah.
Like what, for example? Apart the three things?
What do you mean?
Like the money, status, and physical attraction. What else is taken into consideration when a woman gets attraction for a man?
Ideally, they want a guy that can have alpha qualities and also beta qualities, which is like, alpha seed, which is like, providing a high quality mate, high quality children. And then the beta size, which is like financial provisioning. Ideally, a woman wants a guy that turns her on sexually and can also be like a financial provider.
And that's all.
But most guys typically fall into one category or another.
And that's all. I mean, women don't look for anything else when they look for a long-term relationship. Just if you can provide for my future kids, that's enough. If you're attractive enough, rich enough, that's fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
I
partial
think he's boiling it
description
down
of
to
reality.
big factors.
Sorry?
But they're, for person to person, obviously smaller ones that matter.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is only these three things. There is nothing
No,
else.
there's a lot more. The red pill is just
Right.
more than three things.
There's
I
quite a
don't
bit
see
of
that.
nuance.
That's the problem.
Well, no,
I believe you, but what I read, I never see any mention to the mental affinity, any mention to the psychological affinity, any mention to the importance of kindness. I mean, if a guy's not kind with me, I would just, it just doesn't matter how rich you are if you're not kind.
Because I think like the red pill has like this surface level identity that like women only want a high status guy who has a Rolex and a Ferrari and he's 6 foot tall and he's perfect. He's a good looking Chad.
It's very dehumanizing.
So yeah, I understand what you're saying. So that's not what the red pill is about.
I hope
But
so.
a lot of people just like the shortcut answer is like just become a high value man or attempt to become a high value man. The real red pill answer is talking about like what's going on with the sexual dynamics between men and women. And then there's an extreme emphasis on guys in the red pill community to improve themselves. That's a huge component of the red pill community, is to make, like I say, it's money for guys. If I could like summarize it, it's four things: money, muscles, game, and frame, right? So guys have to focus on making money. Making muscles is basically taking care of yourself, not being fat. Game is understanding how to identify a good woman that is like going to be a good partner for you versus a woman who's just using you or won't be a good partner for you. Right. And then frame is just having like an idea of boundaries and then understanding how to enforce those boundaries, especially when a woman or someone else comes in your life, so you're not like just a doormat for the majority of people in your life.
Yeah.
And the red pill, it's an analogy that originates from the film The Matrix,
right.
Where you take the blue pill, you stay in Wonderland. You take the red pill, we see how far the rabbit hole goes. Taking the red pill is, and often that truth is an uncomfortable truth. And so basically just the red pill is the truth. Because men are told, just be nice, just be yourself.
No, that's definitely not enough.
Do all this, do this, do that for a girl. And in practice, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Women don't reward these sort of traditional courtship things anymore.
I understand that. And I definitely think that there is a big part of reality that is actually explained pretty well by red pill. And when I heard these theories myself the first time, I realized that it's true. I mean, I care about money, I care about status, I care about attractive, like the physical attractiveness. The problem with me is that the way it's usually framed and spoken also in the like fresh and fit or whatever. I mean, not whatever, but fresh and fit. It's like the short version of it. I would say at this point, the short version in which women are dehumanized and also men. So that we are genetic machines, that we are driven by biological instinct only. There is no psychology in these creatures. We are like monkeys, basically. So that a man looks for a younger woman because she's more fertile. I mean, are you a monkey? Are you going to mate with your gorilla mate? I mean,
and what's so funny about that is when they're referring to those men, those are the men who would, it's their absolute nightmare to impregnate one of those women. So like, it's not really about reproduction anymore.
It's never, to be honest, almost never about reproduction, because they're not thinking I'm going to have your kids, like not right away at least.
Yeah, but it's always so funny whenever we bring up the fertility thing or the paternity uncertainty component to it. Why are women attracted to men who are tall?
Yeah, I mean,
it has an evolutionary component. A man being tall has absolutely no bearing on his like physical attractiveness. Like he could still have a handsome face, he could be fit. It comes down to survival. Women, back in the day, if a guy was physically big, physically large, physically strong, that communicates he's more capable of protecting you and providing for you. So it has an evolutionary basis.
It's also not fun to feel bigger than the man.
Oh, period.
I've been with men shorter than me. And
why? Why is that? What is that feeling? Does it have an evolutionary basis?
Tell men
because maybe you don't feel secure.
Yeah.
But do men look for security from their female partners?
Yeah, but in a different way. I'd say more of a nurturing
but we're talking
way.
we're talking about physical safety here. Men don't look for safety from women.
Physically, no, yeah.
Right. So that has an evolutionary basis.
Yeah, definitely. Fine. But it's irrational. Like you like to talk about the rational man, like the book or whatever. It's irrational because
it's not,
nowadays I don't need to look for the tall guys because I don't need to be protected by the
you
from
don't
the
need
lion.
to. You don't. Maybe you specifically. You
but
don't
the
need
point
to.
Is that we have a choice. Like psychologically, we can contrast our biological
Yes, and
instinct.
if given the choice, most women would not date a man who's shorter than her.
They're mediocre, probably.
What?
Probably.
The men are mediocre.
No. The women. I mean, women. They are.
The women are mediocre.
No,
women. They're only driven by biological.
Women with a 6-foot standard.
Fine, but what I'm saying is that when you would exclude a guy that you like that would be a good fit with you.
If you would let me answer his question, I could downplay a lot of what you're saying right now, and it's what I'm seeing in this area. Women are giving up sex very easily here, and these are young women because they want to feel there is
easy.
There is more women in this area than men. That's what's driving a lot of this casual sex.
Yeah.
So women feel in competition with one another. They're giving up sex. Sex is sacred, in my opinion. Men have this. I have my pick of the litter.
Closer to the mic, please.
I have the pick of the litter. Men aren't being held to a standard that they once were held to. So what he's trying to say is the red pill is encouraging men to be these alpha, hold yourself accountable, stoicism, all that kind of stuff, because women have really lowered the bar. Wow. And I get nervous on my kids.
No, so we were specifically.
You're doing a great job.
We were
doing a great
specifically.
job.
We were specifically talking about height here. Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
I have. I have twice.
Is that optimum? Because you
They were
literally just said
incredibly
2 minutes.
kind.
You
Yeah.
literally just said 2 minutes ago you don't want to feel small as a woman.
Yeah, that's what my issue was.
So you
and
have the
I
ick.
am an insecure woman. So I speak for a lot of women because it stems from when I was in my early 20s and had
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
I have dated someone, but deep down I feel like something was missing, that I didn't feel safe. I don't, maybe was in conscience, but
Here, can you scoot your mic that way for me, please?
why?
There you go. That's good.
So I will, yes, but at the same time, I do like to feel safe. So maybe that's
you're
why
in a
we
relationship, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been dating one? You said a
1
year and a half.
1 year and a half, yeah.
How tall is he? Is he
Six.
he
Yeah,
taller
he's-
than you?
Yeah, he's like this.
How tall are you?
5'7",
How tall is he?
6 something.
MMA guys are short.
What?
Jiu-jitsu guys are short. I used to work at Gracie
Yeah.
Baja.
You're right. A guy who's 5'7", who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu or an MMA guy is much more capable of defending you than a 6-foot guy who's
Agreed.
had no martial arts training. Okay. How tall is you? You said you've been dating a guy for 9 months. How
maybe.
tall is he?
Well, he's 6 feet tall.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah,
so
but I dated guys that were even like high like me, short like me.
sure,
Or
but your
less than-
current boyfriend
I
is
dated
6
only
feet.
2 guys that were 6 feet. Yeah, but I mean, it's
That's
not.
well,
I
six-
swear,
6 feet-
it's not related with that. I was not
Look,
looking for a relationship some years ago. That's the point.
That's fair. That's fair enough. But 6 feet is 2 inches above the average male height in the United States.
Yeah,
so
well, I mean, okay.
It's convenient for you to say, "Well, I don't really care about
I've
that."
been-
Yet your boyfriend is 6 feet tall.
I've been attracted by men that were shorter, and because
That's
I
fine.
mean, it's definitely
Women
The
are also
point-
worried about the short man complex.
Fair enough. The point
that's one.
the point I'm trying to make is, generally speaking, look, not all women, however, most women have a fairly strong preference to date a guy who's
I know
tall.
that. Yeah, I know
And-
that.
and if you
Maybe
ask-
just because of like they want their children to come out maybe taller, it might just be more
Sure.
maternal instincts
it-
rather than
that-
I have to have a 6 foot. Maybe they might be attracted to that because they want their kid, their boy, their whatever to have those kinds of genetics.
Brian, I think that like we're not discounting the fact that evolutionary psychology plays into dating preferences. I think we're all on the same page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that plays into it, but it's not the only thing. And then that this idea that we're just like electrified meat sacks has only contributed more to the problems that we're facing in modern dating culture right now. Specifically that everyone's not committing. We're not seeing
Two bodies just
people-
basically masturbating with one another.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know what? Birth control is a huge
Agreed.
part
Yeah.
of that.
Agreed.
Taking the
You're
entire
on birth
risk
Yeah, I'm not on birth control.
out of
I don't agree.
having
Never mind.
sex.
Yeah.
Taking the risk out of
Did
a
you
high
hear
risk
about
activity.
how when a woman comes
Read
off
me.
birth control, she'll actually lose some attraction
Yeah.
to the man she
Her
was?
attractions
Yeah.
change.
my
So
gosh.
she's attracted
Yeah.
to higher T guys
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
she is off hormonal
I heard-
birth
yeah,
control.
That
because-
just shook me a little because like
You're-
wow.
No, because what I have heard that birth control will make women more attracted to guys who are a bit more feminine.
But it's because when you're on hormonal birth control, your body basically is behaving as if you're pregnant. So you're
Yeah.
looking for a guy who is more nurturing, lower T slightly, who is able to protect you and provide for you while you're in this vulnerable state of pregnancy. And women can be on hormonal birth control for years and years at a time. Your body thinks it's pregnant for years and years at a time. You're emotionally dysregulated. You have weight problems, digestion problems, hormonal acne, stuff like that.
Period.
Yeah, and it gives you basically a fake period, which is not a period because you're not ovulating. And it's a huge problem, I think, morally as well. A lot of people would disagree with this, but it's taken all of the moral hazard out of a high-risk activity, which is casual sex.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So unless we somehow make birth control, socially stigmatized, if not in my ideal world,
Good
illegal,
luck.
then we're
Good
gonna
luck.
stay in this mess. We're gonna stay sitting in our dirty diapers.
Be free, chat. Be free. I took off members only mode, so you guys can all jump in now. Word. The thing is, though, is like there's no way that at least
The cat's
in the
out of the bag,
US,
right?
Yeah.
So that's where I get so black-pilled with modern dating is like, as long as we have birth control, we're kind of screwed.
So
Like
who's
it's
driving
taking
the
all
ship?
the
Have birth
risk
control? We
out
should
of
not
using
have.
women
Who's
for their
driving the
bodies.
ship for these standards, though? Do you think it's men? Because I hear men actually trying to step up and take accountability,
I hope
and
they are.
women here are loud. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and I still haven't brought up the whole thing we talked about with that Facebook group. But the women population
right.
here
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
is
we
very
shouldn't
loud
have-
with man hating. They don't want the patriarchy. They don't want
Go
the
start your own thing
masculine-
then. Let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this what we're living in right now is how it worked out for us.
Yeah,
And
no.
no, I don't think anybody is satisfied with this.
No.
No, I mean the problem is women. The market is flooded with pussy. That's the bottom line. It's just flooded with pussy, and like girls go out with a guy like on a Starbucks date, and you know he's raw dogging her like an hour later. You know, first time meeting the guy, like knowing
is
the guy
that?
within 1 to 2
I
hours.
think it's because women look for connection and closeness from sex, and it's this simulacra of it that they get from hookups.
Good word. Well done, Mary. Simulacra.
Well, men are pursuing the big O from the woman. A lot of men say that they get off when the woman gets off. But a lot of women are faking it because they want the feeling of the man choosing them, thinking if I give him the sex and fake the orgasm, he'll pick me.
Shit, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's like giving
Don't
him
fake.
this egoic validation.
Don't fake orgasms,
Yeah.
ladies. Don't fake.
I don't know
orgasms.
who is telling women that having casual sex will make a man commit to them.
Movies.
the feminist
Why
movement.
the hell? Why do they believe that? But the feminist
feminist
movement
movement.
doesn't
Maybe
even
they
frame it
want to
as
have-
something to be desired for a man to commit to you. So where does it come from? This insidious
Maybe they don't want to
lie.
have a relationship, just they want to have sex. Many women, no.
I mean, think
mean,
about the
I love this
reasons
stuff.
that women want to have sex, though. It's not just pleasure.
Yeah.
It's what Andrew Tate was just talking about in that clip. It's a deeper connection. Men are looking for it too.
But there are many. It depends also on what is your age. Like many guys, like many undergraduate here, they just hook ups, men and women, and they're not really looking for sex.
That's
for-
because
for
usually
love.
that's all the
But do
girls.
they
Society
really
today,
analyze
that's
their
what's
own
driven.
motivations?
Because there is more freedom. They
Do
do
they
what
really
want.
think about their own
And that's the problem,
motivations
I
for
guess.
promiscuous sex?
Freedom is a problem. I don't know about that. I would never want to go.
They
back
have
to
everything
the 40s,
in their
the
plate now.
30s.
So
We were already
it has- she
screwed
said
in the
pussies
30s
all
and
over the
40s because
place.
birth control was
But
possible.
what is the problem with the
Wait, I
birth
thought
control?
birth control was in the 60s.
Yeah.
No, that started in the 20s.
I don't understand
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
the problem
Wait.
with the birth
And
control.
it was normalized, especially with even like pastor families, where the dad is a pastor, the mom is, she takes birth
Well,
control because it's part of their image.
I
Like
thought
birth control.
hormonal birth control didn't come around until the 60s.
no,
if I'm-
1920.
Am I-
It was in
1920s.
it was in the 20s, and also Planned
Really?
Parenthood was founded before the 60s. That was in the, I believe that was in the 20s.
Shouldn't be any birth
Should we talk
control.
about
I do
abortion
not
now?
get the
Well,
point.
that's you don't want to talk about that,
Dun,
so
dun, dun,
we'll leave that
dun.
off the table. But like,
Yeah, next time, next show. But
Won't be here.
So we don't need. We
and
should
then
not.
you know what?
Have you had-
Feminism existed before
No,
birth
definitely
control
not.
in the 1800s.
Seneca
So-
Falls Convention, Big L.
And if you want to go all the way back, you can talk about the Industrial Revolution, which disrupted the home. And if you want to go back even further,
Let's
we
go
can
back,
talk about
baby.
the Enlightenment.
Let's go back, yo.
And then if you want to go back before that,
Let's
it's
go
the
back
printing
to
press.
fucking- yo,
so
let's-
really,
yo,
we
yo,
need
yo,
to
yo.
abolish the printing press.
Let's go back to Mesopotamia, son.
I sound schizophrenic right now, but I don't care.
Did you read Sex at
Mesopotamia.
Dawn? Have you read that? Sex at Dawn. You
No,
might wanna read. Oh,
I
that goes
haven't.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the
What,
problem
the
with the
printing
birth?
press? What the?
Look,
No,
okay,
but-
so the printing press is what made
That's
it
where it all
possible
started.
for